Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Adam, what is going on in DC, in the district?
DC is good from what I hear, but I actually was out of town this past weekend. I
Oh,
was in Atlanta. But it was for my sister-in-law's wedding.
interesting.
So I didn't have time to reach out to you. But I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you. I just,
I
wedding
remember, I
stuff
remember
is
that when I go
busy.
to DC.
If you go to DC for a wedding, that's fine. Anything less though, you better reach out to me.
I will.
Um, the wedding was good. The weather was good.
Yeah,
You were in
yeah,
town,
good.
so
Yeah,
it was actually a very nice weekend. So everything worked out really well, and I didn't catch up on many DC activities.
yeah. Well, what's going on in the wonderful world of movie reviews?
Yeah, so I started a couple of series. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Task because Chike, you mentioned it last week. This is the new Mark Ruffalo show, and after last week, you mentioned that I decided to start a few episodes in, and I really like it. So again, for anyone who hasn't heard about it yet, Mark Ruffalo plays an FBI agent that's leading a task force, and I forgot the name of the actor who's playing the kind of guy who's robbing the banks with his crew. But there's kind of that dichotomy of, the good guys and the bad guys. The morals are mixed. Who's right? Who's wrong? What's going on? But episode one, it hooks you. Like it's builds up that crescendo. Mark Ruffalo, he does a good job, I think, in everything. And he really embraces that role of kind of this like over the hill has been FBI agent that's a little scruffy around the edges, drinks a lot, things like that. So really enjoyed it. I will probably take a pause because I like to binge watch my series, and I know the whole season's not out yet, but highly recommend if you're looking for a good drama. This is one.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing I saw since I was busy last weekend was I started watching Hotel Costa Rica, and this is an Amazon Prime show. Oh, you've seen this too? Okay,
So technically, that was going to be one of the things I talked about too.
okay, well, good. You can go into more because I saw the first episode. I enjoyed it. So
Mhm.
it's got it's funny. It's very like tropey, very like stereotypical. You have like kind of the geeky British guy. You have kind of the
Mhm.
older guy that's like the cook. Everyone's kind of a little bit of a trope, but basically it follows this group that basically the main guy works for a hotel as a fixer and he finds people and missing people and things like that. But it seems like and I don't know if Chike, you've seen the whole series, but there's like a larger arc of him trying to find this missing girl
Yes.
throughout the time.
Yeah.
Um, Takes place in the Amalfi Coast, and they know it because they are showing you scenes of people on the beach, the rocky mountains, the towns,
It's very
everything.
decadent. Very
Yes,
decadent.
very decadent. So I will say this, like this show it's probably not winning any awards, but it's everyone's having a good time and it's just a fun, like lighthearted watch, I feel like, as you're
Yeah.
like basically on a mental vacation in the sun.
Yeah. It's given me low grade uh uh James Bond, and it kind of reminds me of the show that used to come on years and years ago, if you're old enough to know, a show called Heart to Heart. And they
Okay.
would get into these situations and travel and try to figure out cases and whittle down to what the answers are, but go through all these extravagant sets and clothes and cars in order to do it. Very, very decadent.
Yeah, yeah. So again, and Shige, you could speak more about it, but I'm enjoying it. It looks like it's an Italian production, so
Yes.
um, that's fun too because you kind of get a little bit of that perspective. But yeah, highly recommend.
Yeah. And so it stars Jesse Williams, which um, he's a great actor, but more so important for me, he's a man of color, and he has his own series, and it's of this caliber. It's a decadent series, which hasn't been seen on TV like this before. I don't think that I've ever seen anyone of color being the prominent lead in a show like this. I know Idris Elba had Luther in the
Hmm.
beginning, but Luther isn't quite, the production wasn't quite like this. This is very it's very posh, and
Yes.
it looks really good. It's great production. Um, if you just like you want a series to get into with a good storyline and you are into escapism, this is it for you.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely opposite of Luther, which is really good, but also it's like you get depressed watching that show because man,
Yeah,
bad things happen.
yeah. And so the only other thing that I saw, I started another series because I too was busy during the week. I didn't have a chance to see a film, but I started, and this is the older series too. It's called The Power, and it's also on Amazon Prime. It stars Toni Collette, and it follows the story of a series of girls when they're all around the country, just because this is a global storyline the girls develop special abilities, and in their special abilities it's they can emit electricity from their hands and their bodies, and they don't know what's happening to them, and you're finding out what's going on as they're finding out what's going on. But the parents and like figureheads of different countries and states and cities are getting a breakout of fires and public burn marks and power grid outages, all around the world, and they're trying to figure it out. And then this is where this show kind of meets like the theme of X-Men. It's like, okay, we have these people that are different. What can we do to control them? What can we do to suppress? And so it kind of turns into them trying to manage and control human beings in a way that kind of looks like slavery or internment camps. It's pretty interesting. I'm just getting started, so if you're interested in those type of storylines and that type of science fiction, I'm very interested to find out, why these women develop these abilities, because all of them have like the same symptoms of rashes that let them know that something's wrong, and they have an internal voice that tells them to do things. So I'm pretty curious.
Nice, nice. I had to go to movies this weekend. I went to the movies. I saw The Strangers Chapter Two, and this follows Strangers Chapter One. But it's a this is the second part of a four film part of the second part of the new trilogy. But it's the fourth film of The Strangers, and it just continues to follow Maya. She's being hunted by masked strangers after they learn she survived their initial attack. Because they attacked her and her boyfriend. They actually killed her boyfriend, but it was released September 26th. And if you like horror movies, the same kind of thing. It's good. The only thing I joked about the main character Maya, I don't know. Everything she went through, her hair was always done. Her hair was always long and curly. I said it must have been part of her contract. but um, but it was a good movie. It was a good movie, if you like horror movie. But it got 18% on Rotten Tomatoes and 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb. So
That's
yeah,
a Stephen Knight certified
that's
film.
you know
I
this
don't
has
feel
got to be
like
great.
you
By
go
like
over 20% on your
exactly.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly. But on the morning show, the second episode dropped this past week. I think it comes out on Wednesdays. I got the notification. Does not hesitate. Does not. They always do the thing pretty much.
Mhm.
And it's a cliffhanger at the end of the second episode, so you gotta check that out. But that was good. And then Big Brother. So I have a friend we always text. You watch Big Brother? Did you watch Big Brother? Kind of to take notes. And he actually texted me yesterday saying, "Are you watching Big Brother tonight?" Because I always watch it the next day. And I said, "I'm watching tomorrow." He said, "Well, I'm watching tonight because I don't want any spoilers." How did I realize it was the season finale? So this morning I'm here on social media and I see who won. I'm like, man. But I did watch it, and I did not expect her to win. Her name is Ashley Hollis. She's actually the third black woman to win Big Brother season 27. First there was Taylor, then there was Chelsea, then her, and then there was a black gentleman who won. So there's four total, but I do like the fact they're having more diverse cast, with Big Brother. Even not necessarily not even just race, but even age, from an age perspective. And usually the older people are the first ones out. But Will, he was the older guy, gentleman, and he lasted far into the season. But she won. The thing was she was an attorney. She was an attorney, but didn't tell anyone. They all thought she was a social media person. But she did end up telling Will because they became very close, like father and daughter. Um, but I did not care for her at first, and she went on the block the very first week, I believe, and she had a target on her back. But to turn around and win, she did not win one competition the whole season, and then won the final HOH, where she got to select who was going to the final with her, and the cast has to vote on who they thought should win, and all but one person voted for her. But she did. I mean, I was happy for her. And then you could tell when you have to give your reason to the jury of why you deserve to win. You heard that attorney come right on out, and she was saying that although she dumbed down her persona, she was strategic the whole time and aligned herself with certain people, especially as people were being voted out of the house. She aligned herself with the different groups, and she gave specifics on how she was able to make it. Because I was surprised how she made it so far, but she knew what she was doing. But yeah, so she won, and then Keanu, who that's why I wanted to win. But he had a target on his back the whole season, but he won by winning competitions. And but he got voted out towards the end, but he won the America's vote. So he won $50,000. So the America gets to vote on their favorite house guest. So that was really good. But yeah, Big Brother's over. I had no clue that it was the season finale was last night, but I watched it today. And even though
I
I
have a question about Big Brother because I don't watch the show, but the winners, do they go on to do different things? Do you know what do they do? Like what
Other
happens?
Big Brother shows.
Yeah, they do other shows, and then like even Taylor, she was the first Black woman to win. She actually, they had a spinoff show this season where they discussed the behind the scenes of Big Brother or who they, their thoughts, opinion. And she was part of that cast. She was actually one of the hosts of that. And they do different little spot things, and then sometimes they'll bring them on for other reality shows on CBS as well. So
Okay.
she actually, until she was an attorney, she actually went to one of the top law schools here in the country, but she actually had quit her job before she joined Big Brothers as an attorney. So we'll see what happens to her. But yeah, I was very shocked by that. I was very shocked by that because everybody thought Morgan or Vinny was going to win, and Vinny. When I tell you, Vinny lied to everyone. Julie Chen, the host, asked the cast, "Raise your hand if you had a final two with Vinny," and that typically means he's taking to the end with you. Almost everybody raised their hand. She said, "Was any of it true?" He said, "Well, some they changed." But I mean, he ran a game with everyone. But everyone thought he played a good game because there's no loyalty in Big Brother. But congratulations to Ashley, and anything coming out of the pipeline? Anything that you're looking forward to?
So I do want to see One Battle After Another. That's the Leo DiCaprio movie that they've been kind of promoting nonstop with
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson, who did There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. I will probably try to get around to watching it, but that does look like a fun watch.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
I've been hearing people talk about it. I'm interested in that one too. It's
nice.
getting a lot of hype.
I wanted to talk to you about the AI actress that apparently is in a bidding war, but we talked about the AI music artist last week, but we'll talk about it next time. But Adam, thank you as always, Chike, and we'll be right back after this.